Terry, thanks for being with us during the Oscillator cruise. Could you introduce yourself and tell us how do you participate in the Oscillator industry and what's your involvement with the Imaging Science Foundation?
Sure, I'd be glad to, and thanks for having me, Julian. I have an amusing little company called Front Row Cinema, and I participate in the home theater market in several ways. My company designs, installs, and calibrates complete home theaters for private individuals. I'm a senior instructor for the Imaging Science Foundation. As part of that, I go out and calibrate individual monitors one at a time without the people having to buy a theater. I also write for 3 publications. For about 6 years, I've had a monthly column in Widescreen Review called One Installer's Opinion. I also write for the Perfect Vision, Sound and Vision, and an online newsletter. So with regard to the ISF, I do the individual calibrations. Every time Joel Silver, who runs the ISF, is on the West Coast, I teach the class with him. And occasionally, he and I partner to get engaged in some test experiment. We recently did a project for Pioneer where we evaluated the burning characteristics of plasmas. I believe the results of that test are still online at pioneer.com.
Actually, they do. You're right. So can you elaborate a little more about the Imaging Science Foundation? What does it have to offer to the general public?
The Imaging Science Foundation and its calibrators, what we have to offer is really the consumer's only way to get the picture right. Unfortunately, for reasons too numerous to mention in our short 5 minutes here, none of these TVs are correct out of the box. They're intended to attract people in large stores with poor lighting, and so you've got all the odds stacked up against you when you take a TV out of the box. TVs, to be calibrated properly, must be done in your environment, in the environment in which they're going to operate. So we come to the home, we adjust a large number of parameters to make them correct so that you can see the image that the cinematographers and the directors wanted you to see. It's about video accuracy.
So there is no way to get the picture right out of the box. You have to have it calibrated.
That's absolutely correct. It's impossible to get it right out of the box. Most all monitors will come with the contrast turned all the way up and the brightness turned most all the way up. And that is not a way to watch any kind of a movie. There are standards in the business, and what we do is we come in with about $20,000 worth of instrumentation and adjust a number of things. Some of them are the front panel controls that users have available to them, and others are only able to be reached through digital codes and service codes with the remote control. And we have those, we know them, we put color analyzers on screen, and we make the picture adhere to either NTSC or ATSC standards.
Okay, so typically how long does the calibration take place?
It very much depends on the kind of monitor. If the calibrator is seeing that model for the first time, it could very possibly take them half a day. If it's in this country, a typical box would be a Toshiba rear projector. The service codes are well known for those. We calibrate them all the time. That box might take 2 hours. But it's an iterative process, and you set up the front controls, you go in and do grayscale, and that changes everything. You go back and set the front controls again, so you go back and forth. It's not a job for the impatient. We iterate back and forth until everything is absolutely right. So I would count on 2 to 3 hours per set.
So is that the reason why, a given display device is not calibrated from the factory?
Well, no, the reason why the devices aren't calibrated is because they can't possibly know what environment you're going to put your set in. Are you going to put it in a sunroom, or are you going to put it in a dark, dedicated theater? There's a huge difference between how the controls would be seen for those 2 different environments. So the monitor has to be in the environment that it's going to work in before it can be properly calibrated. What the manufacturers do is turn everything up bright so that in a showroom floor, hopefully you'll be attracted to their set. But again, it's no way to watch a movie.
So since how many years the ISF has been around?
Oh gosh, I think I went to school in the first year of ISF's life, which was probably 10 years ago. So I want to say 10, 11 years, something like that.
So how about Europe? Why did it take so long to reach us, Europeans?
I honestly don't know the answer to that. A lot of things, I guess, sort of emanate over here and finally find their way to Europe. I just can't imagine why it took so long. Joel spent a lot of his effort, who is the founder of the ISF, developing a market and developing a brand name in the U.S. And I think he's traveling a lot more nowadays to Europe. And I understand we're going to get a new breed of calibrator in Europe, and that's great. Hopefully, all you folks can look at the same pretty pictures that we do.
So let's hope that will be the case soon. So thank you, Terry, for your time, and enjoy the cruise as I do, and see you next time.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thanks for having me.